While somehow tens of millions of Americans have been swindled out of 100% of their liberties by being forced to shelter in place, the psychopaths who are orchestrating this plandemic are walking around, going from their houses to the studios with the cameramen, all the sound people, all the videographers, and somehow they're able to make these little public service announcements like this one.
So the order states, and it is legally binding and is punishable by a fine or punishable by a jail sentence. Certainly don't want to crowd our jails right now with people who are just trying to get to work. I understand this. But the order reads, all individuals currently living within Dallas County, not working, living within Dallas County, are ordered to shelter at their place of residence. What that means is it doesn't matter whether your job is in Fort Worth or whether your job is in downtown Dallas or Plano. If you live here, you're under this order. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up?
If you live here, you're under house arrest. This is happening in Texas. It happened in California, New York, Florida, my state of Oklahoma. People are being forced to shelter in place, imprisoned in their own house. Ask yourselves what the founding fathers would say if they saw us just quivering in the corner and millions of us being shoved around by a couple thousand people and their law enforcers. It's unconscionable. Are we really going to accept this as our new normal? Listen to Andrew Cuomo. If this doesn't make your blood boil, nothing will. If this doesn't resuscitate us and breathe the spirit of some kind of freedom and liberty and resistance in us, nothing will.
These provisions will be enforced. These are not helpful hints. This is not if you really want to be a great citizen. These are legal provisions. They will be enforced.
And what is a law? A law is nothing more and nothing less than the opinion of politicians like this guy, mafia members, backed by the threat of force. They're threatening you. If you come out of your house, if you open your business, you will be punished with a fine, or we're going to throw your ass into a cage. That's America today? That's really what we're going to accept as our destiny? This is really the land of the free, home of the brave? They've shut everything down and brought us to our knees with just an edict? In the name of keeping us safe from an invisible bug? And we just have to take their word for it that it's as deadly as they say it is? And if we go by their own numbers, it's not even close to being as deadly as the regular influenza virus, but they don't shut things down for that. Already this year, over 30,000 people have died from the influenza virus. How many from COVID-19? Couple hundred, 300 maybe? Let's give them 500. We don't shut down for the 30,000, but we do shut down for the 500. This is the new normal because a new pandemic is going to come around next year. And we're going to be shut down then too. We're going to allow these psychopaths, these narcissistic banker puppets to rule our lives. Is this what we've really become? Is this that light and that shining beacon on a hill for all the world to see?
There will be a civil fine and mandatory closure for any business that is not in compliance. Again,
but Andrew, I'm losing my business. If I stay closed for 2 more days, I got to close forever. Our lives and our livelihoods are on the line. And we can't pull our heads out of our asses to band together in solidarity and unity for the sake of liberty and freedom. They put it all on the line in the American Revolution, every bit of it. It's not the majority who will prevail, but the irate and tireless minority who are keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. Where's that? Where's that in us?
Your actions can affect my health. That's where we are.
Well, your actions are affecting our health. That's where we are. Where is, guys, share this video with everybody you know. It's utterly ridiculous what is happening. Very few people in Washington's District of Criminals and all these governors and all these little sycophants that are running around thinking they have a higher claim over our lives and property than us, to the point where they're making us close our businesses that we worked all our lives to build. No, I don't accept this as the new normal. I do not.
So there is a social compact that we have.
There is no social compact. And if there was, you know what it would look like? Nobody's got a right to make me do something I don't want to do if I'm not out there harming or threatening to harm somebody else. Nobody. It's called freedom. It's called liberty. It's called dangerous freedom. Because I don't want this peaceful, shuttered in a corner, shut in my house slavery. I don't want to wait for the government to give me the stimulus package, the quantitative easing, the social safety net, the Congress-approved check that's supposed to come to my door and make everything all better as they sink the American dollar and increase prices through hyperinflation with the help of their banker buddies over at the Federal Reserve.
Government makes sure society is safe for everyone. What you do can affect my health.
That's BS. Now, I just wanted you to listen to this very last thing. This pompous ass thinking he has a higher claim over your life and property than you. Thinking he can mandate and dictate and be a dictator. This is what's happening, guys. Tyrannical beings are trying to rule us. This is a dictatorship. They're dictating your actions. They're limiting, no, not limiting, removing your freedoms.
This is personal advice. This is non-factual. So it's all gratuitous. You can take it and you can throw it in the pail. But we have to think this situation through. Don't be reactive at this point.
Yeah, we, the government, are pointing a government gun in your face, and we're telling you not to be reactive
To this situation. Yes, you are out of control in many ways.
because you're taking control and you're threatening me and everybody else, all New Yorkers, all of America, with violence if we don't comply.
You're out of control to this virus. You're out of work. Situations are changing.
No, you are not out of control to this virus. You're not even out of control to what the government is making you do. Let me show you a picture of what's actually happening. This right here is a perfect illustration of why people are complying. Because it's all in our heads. We think in our heads that the politicians and their enforcers are more powerful than we are. But just like this horse, this 1,200, 1,500 pound powerful beast thinks he has to stay put because he's tied to a 50-cent, half a pound Walmart lawn chair, a plastic lawn chair. He could easily go anywhere he wants to, but he doesn't because there's a construct in his mind that keeps his entire body from moving. That is what's happening to America. And this is why I need you to get this message out. We need to wake up and realize the power we have as individuals, and we need to unite against this tyranny. I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care if you're Republican. We cannot stand for this. This cannot be our new normal. We cannot live on our knees. If we don't have the spirit of, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees, then we are for sure dead.
They're not in your control. You don't even know how long this is going to go on.
This will only go on as long as we let it. This will only go on as long as we allow them to push us around.
It's a very frightening feeling.
And they want you to be frightened because that's the second pillar of the powerful and effective Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. They created the problem, guys. The problem is not COVID-19. The problem is not an invisible virus. The problem is government making you do something against your will without your consent by the barrel of a government gun. That's the problem. Government is good at one thing. They break your legs, hand you a taxpayer-funded crutch, and say, see, if it wasn't for the government, you wouldn't be able to walk. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Hegelian dialectic, problem. We're enforcing tyranny upon you without your will and against your consent. Number 2, fear-based reaction. Of course people are scared. They're about to lose everything because of this tyranny. Plank number 3 of the Hegelian dialectic, solution. They step in to provide the pre-planned solution. What is that? Economic stimulus. Socialism. They're forcing you and backing you into a catch-22 corner of taking their check. They're selling us down the river. And that check doesn't represent money. It represents chains. There are strings attached. It's debt. You're being strapped with notes of debt. This is the big helicopter drop, guys. They're dropping this stuff faster than they've ever dropped it.
That is true. But you can also take back some control.
That's easy for him to say. He's the robber in the room with the gun, holding everybody in the room at gunpoint and telling them to relax as he's putting pressure on the trigger.
Start to anticipate and plan what's going to go on. Plan for the negatives and plan for the positives.
But let it be known, says Andrew Cuomo, I'm going to bring as many negatives against you as I possibly can. Oh, in the name of keeping you safe from an invisible bug. Necessity will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority.
There are going to be negatives and there are going to be positives. There are real economic consequences. How do you handle the economic consequences? You're not alone. It's everyone in the United States. That's why you see this federal government acting quickly to get funding into the pockets of families who need it. But
they're solidifying our enslavement. So I want to ask you one more time. Do you really accept this as the new normal? Has the spirit of America, the love for liberty, the land of the free, home of the brave, really rolled over this easily? Are we going to continue to accept the chains that they're throwing on us? Are we going to continue to accept the debt? Are we going to continue to be a land of frickin' pussies? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.